right, everybody. How is everybody doing today? Obviously, this is Unscripted on the All Sports All Plays Network. Like, subscribe, comment. We accept all things. Again, hey, man, hellified day to start off this baseball weekend. Some of us are happy, some of us are not. It is what it is. But let me go ahead and introduce all my guests today. We got and I got one more I got to add in there real quick, if you don't mind. If I didn't get him in our, did you get Gonzo? Okay, Gonzo's in there. Okay, never mind. Gonzo's in. We're good. Logan, what is up, my brother?
What's up, Jay? Yeah, we'll talk about these sports here in a minute. I hope everyone's doing good today on this Tuesday.
And then, of course, Gonzo from Gonzo Sports Room, who has no dog in the fight over this MLB, but he's still our best friend and confidant when we need to cry about our teams. And Gonzo says, go F yourself. I am a Reds fan, and I don't really care. Gonzo, what's up, baby?
Hey, not a whole lot. Hey, today's been a good day of playoffs. So the teams that had the bye started off slow, and then they're making a comeback. And the Braves just fell short. I'm about ready to see if the Astros are going to be able to make the comeback. So what looked like they were going to be blowouts actually turned into interesting games.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, honestly, no doubt at all. And then, of course, we got Big Shot Rob, who Rob, I honestly cannot remember who your baseball team is. Could you enlighten me?
Yeah, I would say it's the Marlins, man. But I kind of root for the Yankees too. But the Marlins, yeah, my team's the Marlins. And hopefully they can come back and put something together for next season, because it's been a while since the Marlins have been a good team, you know?
Absolutely. Oh, that's right. You're a Marlins guy. So you don't have a dog in the fight either. So, yeah, man. Hey, it's a great day for you guys. It's a terrible day if you're me and Logan at this point. I don't want to put any bad juju on Frankie whatsoever. So I'm not even going to mention that team because I don't want to do any bad juju to him. But Frankie, and Frankie, you see what I'm doing, right? I'm protecting you, Frankie. I'm not saying nothing.
We're not giving you a curse.
Yeah. So, Frankie, though, but how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, guys. You know, playoffs is looking pretty crazy today, you know, with the Phillies doing what they did to the Braves. But a nice hard-fought comeback for Atlanta. It shows, you know, that they can do what they got to do. But hopefully next game, tomorrow, they can do it earlier. And for Houston, it was just a surprising today for Seattle to just come out red hot and do what they did at Houston. But there's no quit in Houston right now. You know, they still got 2 more outs left at the bottom of the ninth. And I'm just sitting here waiting for my team to go, man. I'm excited and I'm ready to go. I'm hoping we can do something that the both Braves and Houston Astros didn't do, and that's win at home.
You got what, about a half hour?
Yeah, we got about a half hour left.
Absolutely. And then we got Jonathan Mathis, who gets the late game this evening. I believe the 8:20, someone in that nature. How you doing, brother?
What's up, fam? I do have a dog in this fight, as you guys know. I'm a big-time Dodger fan. I'm geared up. I'm ready to go. I even got the shoes to go with it.
Yeah, you know, Jonathan, don't take this personally, but go F yourself, and I hope y'all don't make it. I am all about the Padres.
You know, that's what I like about Jonathan Mathis. Not just for himself being a huge person on shoes, but he notices shoes on everybody else cleat-wise, for football players, baseball players, even basketball players.
He does. Hey, that
notices.
Dude, hey, he is quick to point out what everybody's wearing. I don't even know what they're wearing, but if I turn off Facebook, I guarantee you, Jonathan's gonna let me know firsthand exactly what they're wearing, and then he's gonna give me the stupid look like, Jay, why don't you fucking know? And I'm gonna give him a look like, well, I don't know. I'm just being honest. But no, hey, let's get into this real quick. We're gonna get into the baseball segment here in a little bit. I got some opening news that I just want to kind of go through real briefly, and then we're gonna get into everything that applies. Matt Rule is done, baby. He gone out the door. Matt Rule is done. So is his defensive coordinator, Mr. Snow. He out the door too. I'm a guess that Matt Rule most likely will go back to college. I've heard some rumors, Frankie, that he might even go to the Patriots. I don't think that'll happen. I think he goes back to college, to be honest with you. But again, what do you guys think about Matt Rule? You know, hey, talk about a guy who's collecting money and he ain't even working. Hey, he's only 3 years into a 7-year deal. that paid him what, 41 million? He's got a lot of money left on that contract that he's going to chill on the couch and collect. What do you guys think about that real quick? Gonzo, I'll start with you. We're going to work our way down, and then we're going to go from there.
It didn't surprise me that they went ahead and made the move. I mean, he's only won 11 games since he's been with the Carolina Panthers. And then
Right.
Last year, we all blamed it on Darnold. Well, they go get Baker Mayfield for him, and it's actually, I think, been worse. So I wasn't surprised he's gone. I think he's going back in college. I think just his personality and everything, he fits better as a college coach than what he does in the NFL.
Okay, real quick, Mr. Head 305. Hey, I know you're in the chat room. I don't know if you want to come on the show today or if you're just watching. If you can just let me know either via messenger or in the private chat, man. Oh, I see you did it. You're good. You're good. All right, so we're going to move down to Logan next. Logan, man, what's your thought process on the Matt Rule and Mr. Snow, the defensive coordinator, being fired?
Yeah, I mean, for Matt Rule, it's another case of a college coach who couldn't hack it in the NFL. And like you said, they got off to a hot start last year. It all went downhill. And like Chris mentioned, we all blame the quarterbacks. Well, I mean, look how they're doing this year, right? Baker, he's obviously banged up. McCaffrey's kind of there, here and there. And the team's just a mess, right? A team who we thought would be not great, not, going for the division, but better than this. They just suck. So he's gone. That's an expensive mistake they made. That's a lot of money they still owe him for a lot more years. And we'll see how they do, man. But right now, it's not looking good in Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And then we move down to Jonathan, I believe it is. I think he's underneath you. Jonathan, man, what's your thought process on Matt Rule? I mean, is it like 1 or 2 years too late? I mean, what's your thought process?
I mean, just skip Robin myself. Like, okay.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I can't see very well. I'm sorry. Hey, don't take it personally.
Come on.
And Frankie the Yankee, man.
So
Damn it. They're going to be okay. They're not that fragile.
Hey, but I was ready to go.
Hey, Jonathan, go, damn it.
No, it comes as no surprise that Matt Rule got fired. He had more than enough times to turn it around. He couldn't turn it around. Unfortunately, it wasn't all his fault. He is the fall guy in this, but this team was dealing with a lot of injuries, so he didn't always have a full roster to work with. But, the Panthers were 1-4 this season and went 11-27 under Rule. And I'm with Chris on this. I think his personality better fits as a college coach. I think he'll end up getting a job at the college level. I think the Panthers are just willing to go into a different direction. I'm hearing rumors about a potential fire sale that they could, consider trading Christian McCaffrey, which I think would be an interesting move. But we'll see where the Panthers go from here, but I'm not surprised at all.
I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm CMC, if I'm Christian McCaffrey, I'm praying to the football gods that they will just trade me to Buffalo and let me go be productive for the little bit of life that I still have left in my body. I'm just saying. I'm praying to my age. I'm praying to everybody. Anyway, Frankie. Hey, Frankie, man. Matt Rule, man. Is he going back to college? Is he going to the Patriots? I mean, I've heard rumors that maybe Bill might be looking at him. I mean, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, if Bill wants to bring him in, I wouldn't have no problem with that, having him come in as a coordinator and learning under Bill Belichick. Sometimes that happens and you're not ready for the head coaching schemes. You're just better as a coordinator. But I think Matt Rule is just going to take some time off because I did read something earlier yesterday, right after the fire, that the Carolina Panthers still have to pay him north of $40 million, even though that he's fired right now. So I think he's just going to sit out, chill, and probably potentially wait for that one college team to give him a call because I don't see him again going to an NFL team. Like I said, if he wanted to come to New England and Bill Belichick wanted to bring him in as a coordinator, that's totally fine with me. Like I said, we need a coordinator. I'm tired of the Matt Patricia and Joe Judge sharing the play calling for the offense. I just want to get an offensive coordinator going, one man call the shots. But I don't see that happening. I do see him taking a little bit of time off, like you said, sit on the couch, collect his north of $40 million, and then wait for that call for the right team in college to go back.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, Super fast update. Again, Seattle 7, Astros 5, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. And it's 0-2 on the count to Pena. And I swear to God, if Pena gets on base for a home run, he deserves a bonus check. Let's see what happens. Okay, the ball. Pena, if you get on deck, just look, watch it. Pena, just get a base hit. Because you know who comes behind you? Jordan Alvarez. Just get on base. Don't get out. Just get on base.
You'll know if you get on base. Jay will start celebrating.
Bruh, you have no idea.
Yeah.
I might miss my AA recap assignment. No, listen. And of course we get down to Rob Strike. Oh, yes, no, yes, we gotta bring it in. Yes.
I told you. It's okay. It's playoff time, Jay. Jay, it's playoff time.
Hey, listen, I'm good. I'm good. I got milk. I got cookies. I'm good. I'm not doing anything bad.
You got a boy. You got a boy in the stadium in Houston crying right now,
bro. You don't know, man. You don't know how bad I've been all day today. I've been wanting to get Mickey Delaney the whole biz all day. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Mickey Delaney, you know I love you. You're old. I appreciate you. I don't want anything bad. Rob Strike, please. Let's get back on topic. Matt Rule fired. Too late. Again, coordinator gone. Why is the offensive coordinator gone? Honestly, that's their biggest problem is the damn offense.
Yeah, anyway, that's kind of mind-boggling.
What's your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, that's kind of mind-boggling to me too that they didn't fire the offensive coordinator, but not at all surprised that Matt Rule got fired. I mean, look at the Carolina Panthers, their team. They get off to like what are they 1-4 now? They just lost to the 49ers. The 49ers literally kicked their ass. So yeah, I'm not surprised at all. And if he does go back to college, I could see him going to like one team that's struggling right now. Obviously, is the Oklahoma Sooners. So maybe you might want to consider going to Oklahoma since Lincoln Riley left to USC. So we'll see what happens with that.
Absolutely.
And yeah. I don't see Baker Mayfield being the quarterback of that team. Like after this year, he's probably going to go somewhere else, or his career might be done. I mean, they have Sam Darnold. They just really need to upgrade the quarterback position and get a quarterback in the draft, if you ask me.
No, Rob, he'll get a shot next year. I'm pretty sure the Colts will pick up Baker Mayfield.
Somebody's going to pick up Baker. Look, here's the deal.
I hope not. Come on, don't put that on me, Frankie.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Hey, but you know what though? Hey, honestly, I don't think Baker is really getting a fair shake going to Carolina. Okay, I don't think he's getting a fair shake. I think that offensive line isn't as good. I think Christian McCaffrey is still, he's probably the lone bright spot he has. I don't think he has the offensive coordinator help. I don't think he has a receiver. I think Baker deserves a good, fair chance at another destination. I don't know what that destination would be. Could it be the Colts? I think you bring him in. I think give him a shot. But Baker needs a wide receiver one. I just don't want to write off Baker just yet because I think Baker is still pretty damn freaking good. I don't think he's like elite, but I think he's good. With that being said, I think somebody can bring him in on not necessarily a vet minimum, maybe a little bit better than a vet minimum, and then let him prove his way back into the league before you give up on Baker just yet. Because you got to remember, this guy does have a competitive spirit. And I love a quarterback that's got a competitive spirit. I think Baker wants to do great things. I just think he kind of got screwed over a little bit in Cleveland, and I think he's just not getting on a good team in Carolina. So it's really hard to really tell out all on Baker Mayfield just yet. Anyway, we're going to move on. Pot of gold. Pot of gold, baby. Pot of gold. Actually, let me before I get into that topic, let me go ahead. I want to say something. Mr. Head 305 had commented that Matt McCaffrey, with no hesitation, should be gotten rid of. And I agree. Look, I think for both, right? I think Carolina needs to move on from Christian because Christian is a little on the injured side. And I think that if they can get some draft picks for him and then replug and go forward with the new head coach, I think would help them. At this point, I don't think Christian McCaffrey getting any older is going to help them beneficially in the future. I mean, this team has so many issues that he's not going to be a benefit to them. He actually will be a hindrance to their cap, if anything else. So I think it would be beneficial for not only Carolina, but for Christian himself. If Christian could latch on to a team like Buffalo that has all the other components that they need, they just don't have a really good run game, and then you put a CMC back there, I mean, I think both parties would benefit immensely off of a trade. So, Mr. Head 305, I'm totally in agreement with you. Pot of gold, baby. That's what Cashman says is coming Aaron Judge's way. Yeah, you're damn right it's coming his way. You probably should have signed him at $300 million when you had the opportunity. I would have given the $300 million then, because now, baby, it's going to cost you so much more. Judge is obviously he obviously was smart not to accept a $213.5 million 7-year contract offer that they presented him at the age of 30, which would have made him 37 by the time he was eligible for another contract, and we all know what that means. By the way, if I may, please give me one moment. Ole! 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 I'm sorry, that was the sound of victory. And
the Mariners freaking blew this one.
Hold on. Mickey Delaney. Mickey Delaney, God rest your sweet old fart soul, because I'm coming after you like a right on rice paper.
Wow, what a walk-off.
Yeah, let me say it again. Ole, 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 ole. Alvarez, baby. I told you. I said Pena gets on board. Alvarez is up. Hey, don't you ever
that guy's a
never underestimate the heart of a champion.
He's a power
hitter.
hitter.
Rudy T from the Rockets days. Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
Oh my God!
All I can say is Frankie the Yankee. Could you put some respect on Yordan Alvarez? I'm not saying he's better than Judge, because we all know what Judge did, but you got to put some respect on Yordan Alvarez and what he just did in the postseason. I'm not putting shit on his name.
No, the hell with that. Hell no. I'm blaming that. I'm blaming that on the pitcher. Why the hell would you pitch?
Why would you put Robbie Bailey? Why would you put Robbie Bailey?
All I can say is, hey, don't you ever underestimate my Astros. Don't you ever do it. Okay, we're going to get back on topic. I'm sorry. That was just a very emotional moment. Since 3:45 this afternoon, I have been under the gun, depressed by several people in a group chat. I will not say their names, but it's been rough. But you know what? Even I was doubting my team. I should never have done that. But I prayed to the Lord, sweet Jesus, that they would get that hit. And you know what? God is an awesome God, and he came through. Anyway, back on track. So, $213.5 million 7-year contract offer. He turns down. He gets 62 home runs, 31 RBIs, 311 average. He goes to, I think he's going to command, that's what I meant to say. He's going to command, in my opinion, north of $300 million 7-year contract. I would not be surprised if he tries to squeeze out every bit he can to get close to even $400 million 7-year deal, which would be an astronomical contract on his behalf. But honestly, right now he's on a $19 million 1-year contract. The Yankees will negotiate. They have 15 days after the World Series to get a deal done with Judge. But I got to be honest with you guys, and I don't know how, Frankie, I don't know how you think about this, but if I'm if I'm Aaron Judge, I'm not going to do anything until after that 15 days. I'm not going to give the Yankees that option, because you tried to get me at $213 million at 7 years, you cheap people.
No, it's not.
So what I'm going to do is Aaron Judge, and if he's smart, and I think he is smart, he's going to wait till after that 15 days.
No.
He's going to go out there. He's going to test the market. He's going to see what other teams give him. And then based on that, he will then go back to the Yankees. And I guarantee he's going to get paid a lot of damn money.
No. Jay, all right, now can I say something really quickly?
No. I'm coming. Hold on. So, again, 15 days. After that 15-day window, then anybody else can come in and make contract offers to Aaron Judge. I'm telling you right now, I know Aaron has said, he has come out publicly and said that he wants to be a Yankee for life. And that's why I do believe, Frankie, in all honesty, I believe that the Yankees retain him, but he's a smart person too. And he's going to leverage the rest of the league and what they offer, so he can drive up the asking price with the Yankees, and the Yankees are going to pay it. I'm just saying that's just smart business. That's all there is to it. Frankie, this is your team. This is your guy. So obviously you get first dibs. Go.
Well, I just want to say he got the negotiation in the beginning that much for 217 for a reason. Aaron Judge before this year was injury prone. Aaron Judge, he was like a Christian McCaffrey in the baseball world. He was kind of like an Anthony Davis in the baseball world, right? He just kept getting hurt. So that was the best offer that the Yankees were going to do to him because they didn't know if he was going to stay healthy this year. Now that he had a full year of health and doing what he did, everybody's thinking he's going to go elsewhere. You guys are acting like the Yankees are not one of the richest team in baseball where they can't just throw money
they
at
are.
Aaron Judge.
That's what I'm saying. Are.
He's not gonna wait the 15 days. If the Yankees had 15 extra days after the World Series, best to believe the Yankees are gonna throw out that big money contract to him and he's gonna sign it. Like you said, he wants to be a Yankee for life. I doubt that he will wait past the 15 days to hear other offers and then wait for the Yankees to double their offers or whatever. No, the Yankees are going to come out right after the World Series, win, lose, or not. They're going to come out and they're going to drive a high bargain with Aaron Judge, and he's going to sign it quickly. He's going to end up being one of the highest paid players in baseball. He's definitely going to be the highest paid Yankee in baseball history. So I don't see him going anywhere else. The fact of the matter that everybody's thinking he's going to go elsewhere because of what the Yankees did to him earlier in the season, you guys are forgetting this man was injury prone a year prior, 2 years prior to that as well. And the Yankees they didn't feel 100% confident that Aaron Judge was going to stay healthy this year. Now that he's been healthy this year, he's the new American League home run king. He no doubt about it, has the money in the bag and in the grasp of his hand. All we just have to wait for now is the end of the season and to see how much the Yankees are going to give him.
And again, I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to sign with New York. I just think he ain't stupid either from a business aspect, and he's going to see what the other teams have to offer so he can use that as leverage against the Yankees. And any agent will tell you, hey, I know you want to be with the Yankees, but we're going to wait and see what the outside market says. Because when the market speaks, the Yankees are going to up their offer. He'd be dumb. Honestly, he'd be the dumbest athlete in the world if he just accepted whatever the Yankees offer him without first hearing what the market says. I mean, honestly, from a financial perspective, not even baseball at this point, but from a financial perspective, he'd be the dumbest athlete in the world not to hear what the market says. That would just be crazy. But again, he is going to sound the Yankees. Let's just be honest. Anyway, Gonzo, Aaron Judge, pot of gold, man. What's your thought process?
I think the Yankees cost themselves some money, but they'll get him signed as soon as the season's over. They'll make him an offer and he'll sign it. I don't think he's going to wait either. I don't think he really wants to hear from any other teams. As long as he gets what he wants from the Yankees, he'll be cool. I think the only way he listened to other teams is for some reason he felt like the Yankees were trying to lowball him. As long as he thinks he's getting a fair deal, I don't think he's going to wait the 15 days.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, hey, look, if he doesn't wait, that's great. But I just think financially it would be crazy for him not to hear other offers before he just accepts the Yankees or whatever. I think he just does himself a disservice. But hey, what do I know? Logan, what's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, he's going to get his money from the Yankees. I don't see him. I don't think he'd sign in day one, obviously. I give him 2 or 3 days, and he'll sign with New York. He's going to get a lot of money. And I don't see him going anywhere else. If he does, that's going to be a big shock to everyone in baseball.
Absolutely. Jonathan, let me ask you, man. Look, you're a reasonable guy. You're kind of smart. You're a teacher and things like that. I know you're well educated. From a financial perspective, if you're an agent and you're instructing Judge, would you tell him, hey, Judge, yeah, you can take what the Yankees give you, but what if, per se, the Dodgers, because we all know the Dodgers got money too. Mm-hmm. What if the Dodgers came out and let's say the Yankees offer him $350?
Don't do that shit, Jay. Jay, don't even start that conversation. Don't go that route.
I'm just asking a question. If the Dodgers, if the Yankees offer him $315, he goes to the market, and the Dodgers really want him, and they say, "Hey, Aaron, we'll give you $350." Why would you not want to entertain that offer before you just, go
the Dodgers
into
don't got
a lower
350.
offer?
The
Dodgers, they
Dodgers
don't
would
have
put
that.
themselves over the luxury tax if they did something like that.
And they probably would. But do the Dodgers care about the luxury tax?
I don't think they care. They showed in the past that they don't care. They are willing to go after anyone who's on the market. They've shown us that time and time again, and they're not shy to spend money. But I will be very shocked, like the rest of everybody else on this panel. I'll be very shocked if Aaron Judge leave the New York Yankees. I think he's a lifer. I think he will spend the rest of his career in New York. I think it's only fitting. I think the Yankees know what they have in a player. They saw that this season. He had a historic season. I think you lock him up for the long term. You make him your guy.
Yeah, I agree. And again, like Mr. Head 305 says, and I do agree with what he's saying in the private chat, the Yankees are going to play, or they're going to, they're going to back up the Brinks truck, and they're going to pay this guy. I know they're going to pay him. For me, I'm just always want to use outside leverage to drive up a price. And if I'm thinking of him, I'm going to try to drive up the price. But again, to what Mr. Head's point is, there's not too many teams out there that can probably match what the Yankees would give, other than probably the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers. I don't know what the Red Sox and what their pay looks like, but I'm pretty sure the Dodgers are really the only team that can do that. But to Jonathan's point, I don't know if they need an Aaron Judge, and they may not think they need an Aaron Judge, and they may not be willing to really offer that much money and go over their tax. So you're probably, all of you guys are probably right, I guess is what I'm saying, in terms of that he probably gets his money. Rob Strite, what's your thought process?
Also, one more thing. Aaron Judge can't pitch for
You better make it quick, Jonathan.
Aaron Judge can't pitch for the Dodgers. That's all I wanted to say.
Amen, brother.
Jay,
He
Rob
ain't no Ohtani.
Rob Strite's not here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, I'm sorry. I only see someone. I know he had to go to work. Okay, anyway, hey, we're going to move on. Hey, we're going to get into real quick the Lions safety. Hey, look, guys, that's a pretty damn serious. I don't know if you guys saw that. Frankie, I'm sure you probably saw it because it happened in Foxborough. But the Lions safety, Savion Smith, injured his neck Friday. His father and his uncle rode in the ambulance with him to the hospital. The good news on him is that he does have movement in all of his extremities, which is amazing. This is his second season out of Alabama, and he had just gotten called up for the practice squad. And hey, look, I'm only putting this topic in there because, number one, I am so thankful that he has movement in his extremities. It's a violent game. It's a violent game, and I'm thankful, and I'm sure his family is very thankful. Even if he never plays football again, that he's alive and he won't be riding the rest of his life in a wheelchair. So I just want to say praises to God and praises to his family. For number one, being there as a support system for him. And number two, Savion, man, hey, we're with you, brother. And if you're able to play football again, that's amazing. And if not, it doesn't matter because you have your health and you have your movement. And I don't think you can ask for anything more than that. Did anybody want to comment on that, Gonzo?
No, Gonzo's gone.
Oh, Gonzo left? Okay.
He said he'd be
Just for a minute. He'll be back.
Oh, no, that's fine. Logan.
Yeah, like you said, it's a heartbreaking injury, but like you said, all in the end, I'm glad that he's able to have mobility, and even if he doesn't play another snap, at least he'll have that. But hopefully we can see him back on the field and playing for the Lions sooner rather than later.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mickey Delaney, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, our team is awesome. Honestly, I told you, even when we were down, I think it was 7-3 at one point, 6-3, so whatever it was at that point. I said, hey, don't overlook the Stros, man. I'm telling you, this team don't give up. They never, ever, ever give up. And when you get a team that won't give up, they're dangerous. And that's why I tell people, hey, watch out for this Stros, man. I don't know what it is. They don't have no trash cans. We don't need no trash cans. Honestly, we don't. And Dusty wouldn't allow a trash can in there. He ain't that type of manager. But this Astros team is special, I'm telling you. Anyway, Rob is back. Rob, before we move on, unless I haven't – no, I got to get to Frankie too. Frankie, what do you think about this Lions and Savion Smith since that obviously happened in your ballpark?
Yeah, it was really shocking, and it was really odd at the same time. Like, he was covering Hunter Henry, and out of nowhere he just drops to the ground, and nobody knew what the hell happened. Like, the man just fell to the ground. He didn't have contact. He just made a quick cut route to try and defend Hunter Henry, and then he just falls to the ground. Even the medical staff and the Lions, by halftime, even said that they were reviewing the entire play, and they still could not figure out what happened at that play. I don't know what happened at that play. I still don't know how it happened, but I hope, like Jay said, I hope he's okay. A serious injury like that, I never want to see that on a football player, no matter who or what team he plays for. You never want to see that. I hope he comes back next year, okay to play in the game again. I don't want to see the man, walk away from the sport that he loved, especially early in his career with just 2 seasons in. So it's really sad to see him get an injury like that. Like I said, I still want to know how it happened and what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I definitely agree with you because the weird thing about it, Rob, the weird thing about that injury was if you watch that game, it wasn't even a contact injury. It was just a freak. It was just a freak thing that happened. It's crazy. But again, sometimes we often do wonder why do these athletes get these exorbitant contracts, and I think, again, this injury wasn't that type of injury in terms of being contact related, but, football, I can see the exorbitant contracts. Basketball, I can probably see the exorbitant contracts because you're putting your body through a lot of craziness that honestly God, when he made humans, did not probably make our bodies for that type of torque and hitting and things like that. So again, you get paid that amount of money, but when you get these injuries, it does wear out on your lifespan. So I do understand now, and as I go forward, I'm getting a better grasp on why they get the contracts that they get. But anyway, Rob Stripe, thoughts?
It's game time, boys. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the play, but I heard about it. I was flipping between the Bills and Steelers game and the Lions Patriots. But yeah, it's a really unfortunate injury. Contactless injuries are always bad. Most times, guys have season-ending injuries when that happens, and it's just sad to see that happen to this guy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No doubt, man. And again, our prayers, were answered. I prayed for the man. Honestly, when I heard about it, I definitely prayed for him because, that type of injury, man, even if you live through it, if it affects your extremities, it really, affects your life. And it's good that he had full movement in his extremities. I'm so happy for him, honestly. But anyway, we're going to get into this NFL recap. And I just think we're not going to go through all the games, just a few. One of them being the Buccaneers and Falcons. Only because of the play that Jarrett put onto to Tom Brady. I felt like, come on. I think everybody here in this room, and I said it on the morning show yesterday, that there's not a person in this damn world, even that ref in his heart of hearts, knows that was not a roughing of the passer. That was a guy tackling a guy with a football and taking him to the ground. And that's clearly all that was. And again, the Falcons, they did miss Cordell Patterson on the running game. Brady threw for 351 and a touch. Fournette had a pretty good day at 139 all-purpose yards with 2 touchdowns. And the Bucs did get the win at 21-15. But I think the bigger thing about this game, and I think what this game is going through the rest of the league, is a stem off of the Tua Tagovailoa situation. And I think now the league is extremely oversensitive to this roughing of the passer, to where now we've gone from all the way on the left to all the way on the right, where we should be at the middle zero to get these games correct. I think the league is overdoing it in terms of these calls. That's my perspective. Logan, what's your thought process on this, man?
Yeah, you're definitely right. They're overcorrecting like crazy. I mean, what more could Grady Jarrett have done, right? If he didn't do that move to him where he just kind of rolls over him, he could have gotten out. Like, he was just taking him down. It wasn't like he hit him in the head or threw him down. it was just a simple sack. And I mean, that killed all the momentum Atlanta had. They lost only by a touchdown, which was a lot closer than a lot of people thought. And I mean, we saw it with Derek Carr last night, right? Another roughing the passer call that honestly was not a roughing the passer call. I'll say it myself. And they're just overcorrecting, man. They really are. And I feel like they got to fix this, because I get that the Tua situation is still fresh and everything. I understand. But come on. I mean, this is just flag football at this point. It feels like you can't hit the guy. You can't, or else you're going to get a call.
Absolutely. And Mr. Head chimes in with, I played on defense when I played. I almost threw up when I saw that BS call. I agree with you. It's ridiculous. And it's not even just that, right? It's that play. And Logan and Gonzo and you guys, Frankie, Robert, you know that throughout the rest of that week of football, there were other calls on the quarterback. I think one was, I forget the game it was, but there were other calls. I think the Chiefs had one that were like that, where there was roughing to the passer, and it wasn't roughing to the passer. It was more of a stimulation off of, the Tua, the Brady, and so forth. To where now, like I said earlier, it's a chain domino effect, and it's just ridiculous in the game of football. Frankie, thought process. Okay, Frankie is probably watching the game. Hey, it's Frankie.
No, I'm here. I was muted. My bad. I was like, I'm dazed right now into the game because it's about to start. First pitch is about.
I know. Hey, Frankie. By the way, we are all in support of you as a Yankees fan. If you believe that, okay.
No, I agree with you guys. I didn't watch the game because as you guys know, I was watching the Patriots and Lions game, but I did see the play on replay and on YouTube, and I have to agree. I mean, it wasn't a roughing the passer call. Everything is getting soft in the NFL now. We even had a mistake call. I'm sorry, Logan, but we had a mistake call last night when roughing the passer on Derek Carr, and it was clear as day not roughing the passer on Derek Carr.
That's the one I was thinking of, the Chiefs and Raiders. Okay.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I mean, that's my team, and I agree with you. Come on.
Yeah, he wrapped his arms around the body, and he took the man down. I mean, roughing the passer calls when you're hitting below the waist to the legs, or if you're hitting on the above the shoulders to the head and neck area. That's
or if it's crown to crown, or if you're throwing him down excessively or something like that.
Yeah, or something like that. But like having a defensive player wrap his arms around you and take you down, and they get called roughing the passer because you want to throw a little fit, it's really pissing me off. And I've seen Brady do it many times, as a New England Patriot fan. I've seen him do it many times. Obviously, when he was on the Patriots uniform, I will accept it. But now looking into it, it's just getting really tired and it's getting really old. Let them, this is a man sport, contact sport, and you guys are just taking the fun out of it.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with taking the fun out of it, because I feel like that's exactly what they're doing. And the NFL is becoming exactly what those initials stand for, the No Fun League. Real quick, follow-up question, if you don't mind, 2 seconds, yes or no. Did the Astros win today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
They won in walk-off fashion, baby.
Look, I just wanted to know that if you knew that the Astros won today, so that if Mickey says something to you, you can tell him to go to hell. Anyway, I'm sorry, man. I'm in a good mood, man. The Astros won. I was very depressed to the point of calling Melanie and telling her I need to find my sponsor. Anyway. And by the way, if you go to AA, you see the joke in that. Chris Gonzales, man, I love you, brother. Hey, it's good to see you in that beautiful shape. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chris. Hell with the damn it. I want the damn goatee back. I don't care what they say. A female will love you with the goatee. Don't let it look. You make the goatee don't make you. Chris Gonzales.
Let's go.
What do you think about that Tampa Bay Bucks?
Man, if you're going to call that roughing the passer, or even the one you called last night on the Chiefs, you might as well just put the quarterbacks back there in the red practice jersey and not let anybody touch them at all.
Yeah, I agree. It's ridiculous.
It was terrible, and I'm not saying the Falcons would have won that game, but that was going to get them off the field. They might have went down. They would have had a better chance, and that can change the whole momentum of a game too when you make a stop like that and it gets taken from you. Now that team gets to gets to keep moving the ball down the field. So, and then like last night, the one they called, the guy stripped the ball from Derek Carr, had the ball in his hand, even put his hand down so he didn't land on Carr, and they still called him for roughing the passer.
Yeah, they did. And it's ridiculous. I feel like we're at the point now, like Frankie, I think Frankie said it, or maybe Rob Strike, I forget who it was. They said, we're at the point now we're almost playing flag football. It's just ridiculous.
I was on the morning show this morning, and Ray pointed something out that caught my attention, and he said, "Are some of these referees behind the books and stuff, behind cameras? Are they betting on these games? Because some of these referees."
I wonder that. Hey, listen, Frankie, watch this. We know that betting with referees has occurred in the NBA.
Yes.
So is it too far-fetched to think that it could happen in the NFL?
Yeah, I honestly think it does.
Forget yourself.
Absolutely. These guys are human. They have teams they root for as well.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. As a matter of fact, Jonathan Mathis and already commented. Hey, and I was going to come to you anyway. What do you think about this hit that Brady took from Jarrett and how it seems to have spread throughout the league in other games with this roughing of the passer?
I think it's nonsense. I think it's the league doing their very best to protect Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the handsome.
But it's not even just Brady anymore. It's gone on to Derek Carr.
Yeah, I know. And it's obvious that the referees need to visit an eye doctor. They need eyeglasses because nowadays everything seems to be roughing the passer, which is utterly ridiculous. It's utterly insane. And, they need to be more consistent with these calls. I feel like
I agree with you. They do need to be more consistent.
NFL officiating is very inconsistent. They don't always get the calls right. That was the worst roughing the passer call in NFL history. It was complete bull. Arthur Smith was so livid on the sideline. He could have literally.
Wouldn't you be livid? I'd be livid too.
He could have slapped the crap out of the official. He really could have slapped that man silly.
Well, and Jonathan, to your point, that was a very pivotal part of the game for the Falcons when they did that. So
it spoiled their comeback.
It really did. It was a very pivotal part.
Right. I think it's utter nonsense, and I think the NFL needs to review this and understand that this can have an effect on a team when it really matters, when there's actual implications in the game.
No, absolutely. And again, Rob Strike, my question to you then at this point is what did you think of the game as well? And then where do we go from here? Let's put it this way. My thing is the NFL, when Tua went down and the whole debacle with Tua after the first game, which we know is a concussion, but we all know that they kind of misdiagnosed it with a back injury, whatever they want to call it. And then he goes Thursday and gets reconcussed. Now we want to call it a concussion. Now everybody's freaking out. They're talking lawsuits. They're talking everything else under the sun, to the point where I think Goodell, the NFL commish, said, hey, look, we're already getting a backlash with Tua. Do we really want to backlash with anybody else in the league? So let's go ahead and put an APB out on roughing the passer so that the league doesn't get screwed over any more than what it already has with the Tua situation. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the NFL has to reevaluate the concussion protocol and everything, but just because of the Tua hits, I mean, they shouldn't do that right in the middle of the season like this. I mean, they should at least wait till the season's over to review some of these calls. And we all know Tom Brady's been getting these type of calls with the roughing the passer his whole career. So have, other quarterbacks, but Tom Brady, especially. And, it's just, you sign up to play the game and it's a physical game. You're going to get hit. I mean, these guys would have never made it in the 80s. I mean, because we know how hard hits were in the 80s. Go back looking at guys like Ronnie Lott and someone like a Woodson for the Steelers. What's his name?
You got it right. You got it right, Charles Woodson. You had it right.
Not Charles Woodson. I think the one that played for the Steelers. So some of these guys just put on major hits on players.
Robbie Wilson.
Rod Woodson.
Ron Woodson.
Rod Woodson. Yeah, there you go. Rod Woodson. He used to put on hits. Ronnie Lott. I mean, you had guys that would hit guys big time, and those guys would have never lasted in the NFL today. You see those guys would have never lasted because they would get called for penalty every single time. And now it's like flag football, man. Like you said, the no fun league, and it's just it's not really enjoyable to watch. Like you like to see guys get hit but not hurt, but you shouldn't make the game too much where it's like you can't get hit at all. Like if you get hit, you're gonna get hit.
Hey, I got to update real quick, and that's why Frankie went to blackout mode. Well, now he's back with us. God, Frankie, I feel your pain on that one. The catcher, Rosario was stealing from first to second. They threw the ball to second. He had him out. The guy actually made the out symbol, but then he lost whoever's covering lost the ball, and then he called him safe. God, he could have had him out in second. What a shame. Frank, it's gonna be all right though, man. Hey, look, you got 2 outs.
You know what?
Hey, you're 2 outs, man, on second. It's going to be all right, brother.
Jay, it's fine. As long as we didn't do what you guys and the Braves did is give up runs in the first inning. So we're doing
Hey, listen, we might have gave up runs, Frankie, but, hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Did we get the win?
Hey, you did get the win.
Okay. That's okay. Then nothing else matters what you're saying.
That is true.
I love you, though. You're my boy. You're my boy, Blue. I love you.
I can't argue with that.
We got the win. I love that because, hey, Frank, when you get the win, can't nobody say that goddamn thing. But when you lose, oh man, is it rough? Hey, listen, when it's rough. Oh, that beautiful baby. God, I can't believe you spawned that baby. Cowboys over Rams. I want to talk about this only because of the fact that the Cowboys are getting ready to face the Eagles next week, and we know what the Eagles are bringing to the table. The Eagles just took out the Cardinals this week. So the power that the only undefeated team in the league is going to bring next week. So I want to talk about this Cowboys real quick. And, Jonathan, I know this may hurt you a little bit, but the victory was over the Rams, 22-10. Cowboys were in full effect in terms of their defense because we all know Cooper Rush, 102 yards, wasn't going to get the job done. But we do know that the rushing of Pollard and a little bit with the Zeke, I don't want to put a Zeke out there, but the rushing game of the Cowboys and the defense of the Cowboys obviously led them to victory. And the Dallas did get 5 sacks on Matthew Stafford, 2 of which came from Parsons. Jonathan, I have a question for you, and it's 2-part. One is, how do you think the Rams are going to go from here in terms of can they right the ship? And secondly, how do you think the Cowboys will fare against the Eagles come next week?
I'm not too certain if the Rams can right the ship at this point. They have a beat-up offensive line. They're down to their third-string center. The offensive line has shown each week that they can't protect Matthew Stafford. And what happens when Matthew Stafford is under pressure and he's been hurried by a good pass rush? He usually turns over the football. And that's been a constant theme this season for the Rams. And I don't really see it getting any better anytime soon. I think the Rams still got a chance to turn it around, but it's going to be a very difficult task. And it's going to be a tall order for this offense. And Matthew Stafford is going to have to stop looking for one guy to depend on. He's always throwing in Cooper Kupp's direction, but he's never looking to get other guys involved like Allen Robinson. And I think you got to get everyone on your offense involved, and that's something that he's not doing. So right now I'm not a firm believer in the Rams. To answer your second question, I think this is going to be a real test for Cooper Rush and the Cowboys offense. I think this could be a low-scoring game. Both teams have stout defenses. I think the Eagles have done a great job taking away the football from opposing teams. You see that secondary of theirs, Darius Slay. He's a ball hawking defender. Jalen Hurts has stepped his game up to the next level this season. He has really come on, and made plays for that offense. But now he's going to be tested. We'll learn more about Jalen Hurts this week against the Cowboys, because if the Cowboys are able to put on the pressure and they're able to get after him, it could be a tough afternoon for Jalen Hurts. And I think the Cowboys
Absolutely. I agree with you.
I think the Cowboys will get after him.
I do. I believe that the defense of the Cowboys is probably going to be Jalen Hurts' biggest obstacle this season, only because of what D-Law. I don't know what happened to D-Law, man. This dude got super possessed over the off. Something happened with D-Law, and maybe he got healthy, and now this is the healthy version of D-Law. But D-Law is just reinvigorated. Parsons is doing Parsons, and Armstrong and a few others are really, coming into their own. And it's going to be interesting to see how, Hurts, number one, can pass against our blitz and how he can run against our defense. It's going to be very, very enlightening to see where he goes from there. Frankie, the Yankee, again, who won today? Did Houston win today, Frankie?
Bro, I know Houston won, and I know Atlanta didn't. That's all I know.
Oh, okay. I have forgetful syndrome, so I just wanted to re-verify if the Astros won. Anyway, back to the other question. Cowboys Rams. What you think, bro?
God, I fucking love Jay. I love Jay. But hey, that game. What did I say, Jay? Since the very beginning of that week, who did I have winning on paper?
You had the Cowboys.
I had the Cowboys winning on paper because
which is surprising because, believe it or not, I actually had the Rams. And when you say Cowboys, I was like, damn, okay, Frankie. Okay, go ahead.
I'm not biased on some teams. There's teams out there that I don't pick on paper, but when I need a win on my paper sheets, I get the wins because I do it by the smart choice. Picking the Cowboys over the Rams. The Rams hasn't been looking like the Rams of last year. Matthew Stafford has not been playing at the top elite quarterback level as he did last year. He's not looking like an MVP candidate right now. He's, the offensive line is not helping him out at all. And he's kind of doing rookie mistakes where he should be throwing the ball away instead of, either taking a sack and forcing a fumble or throwing the ball away to where it's going to get interceptions. It's not looking really good for the Rams compared to the Cowboys lately. The Cowboys, since bringing in Cooper Rush, I've told Jay, and Jay can back me on this. I said Cooper Rush is that man. He was 1-0 before starting this year, and I said to Jay, Cooper Rush is one of those quarterbacks where people don't look at real closely, and he's reminding me. I'm not comparing him to Tom Brady, but it's reminding me of what Tom Brady did when he came in for Drew Bledsoe. He turned the Patriots around. He ended up taking that starting quarterback job. If I was the Cowboys, I would continue on this Cooper Rush train until the momentum is not there anymore. If Dak Prescott was a true leader, he would do the same. He would sit on the sideline and also look at it and say, listen, this man has won us 4 straight games in a row. 4 straight games in a row. Ladies and gentlemen, that puts Cooper Rush at a career starting level of 5-0. This man is something. He is something for the Dallas Cowboys. And it showed last Sunday, like Jay said, he got only 102 yards. Clearly, if he's not doing it, the defense is stepping up for him. So I always said that the Cowboys are going to win that one. Same with the Giants. I said the Giants are going to win against the Packers because the Packers are not good. They don't look that good anymore defensively and offensively. They don't have weapons offensively. And I said it to many Giant fans. They were really confused on why I picked the Giants. I told them if the Patriots' third-string rookie quarterback, Bailey Zappi, can take Aaron Rodgers and that defense into overtime and only lose by 3, I have full confidence that Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley can end up winning that game against the Packers. And I said the same thing about the Dallas Cowboys against the Rams. Like I said, the Rams hasn't looked good, but the Dallas Cowboys have turned it around with Cooper Rush at the helm.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you. And Mr. Head 305, I want to give him a shout out. The underdogkings.com took the Cowboys against the Rams. And I will tell you guys, hey, if you want to get some good picks out there, he's got some parlays, some 3-team, 7-team parlays. Just check out Mr. Head at theunderdogkings.com for the latest picks. And he does pick pretty well. And he did say that the Rams are through. Jonathan Mathis, I want you to hear this. Mr. Head, who does picks for a living, has said the Rams are through and he's taking the Eagles. So do with that information as you will.
There goes the bullshit calls on Aaron Judge again.
I'm kind of on board with him. The Rams do look finished. They look defeated. They look helpless. They look hopeless, and they look like a team that can't run it back at this point. It is.
Logan, did I get you on this topic already? I don't want to skip.
No, you
did
started.
I say anybody on this topic, Logan?
No, you started from the bottom up. You started from the bottom up, Jay.
So Logan, let's go first. Thoughts on the Cowboys Rams?
Yeah, a great win by Cooper Rush. Like you said, the defense is really carrying this team, and I keep riding the hot hand. I mean, why mess up momentum, right? I mean, there's no reason to rush Dak back. It's not like the team's imploding, so I'd keep him out. And unless, like you said, they lose 1 or 2, then you could bring it back. That's fine. But for now, they haven't lost.
No, absolutely. Hey, listen, I'm right there with you, brother. Right there with you. Gonzo, thoughts, brother?
No, if I'm the Cowboys, I'll leave Rush in as well because what I would be worried about is right now they're dependent on their defense and running the ball, and that's their formula to win. Where if you bring Dak back in and him and Kellen Moore will start wanting to throw the ball all around, it could mess up the chemistry that team has right now. So I'd keep riding the hot hand, and plus I'm still hearing that Dak's having trouble gripping the ball. So if he's not 100% healthy, why rush him back? You're still in great position right now. Let Rush keep doing what he's doing until Dak's 100%.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Gonzo, this is a pretty good question. And this is a really important question that I'm curious about. If you know you got to play the Eagles next week and you're going to give Dak some reps to see how that thumb is reacting, honestly, if you're the coach and you're maybe hesitant or on the bubble, do you go with Dak or do you go with Cooper against the Eagles, which, as we all know, is a very crucial game given their status in the league?
I think you go with Cooper because, for one, if Dak, you don't know if Dak's 100% healthy. For two, even if he is healthy, how's he going to look? He hasn't played or thrown footballs for 5-6 weeks now. So he might come in rusty. You know what you're getting from Rush. He's been consistent all 4 games that he's played this year. So I would stick with Rush against the Eagles, and then maybe come back with if you want to bring Dak in, bring him back maybe against a different game where it isn't as important game.
No doubt. And I'm totally, like I said, I'm going to agree with you guys. We're going to move on now to another game, which I think is important, which is the Giants versus the Packers. And again, hey guys, we do got to speed it up a little bit because we only got like a 2-hour show, and I'm trying to get it about an hour and a half because I know Logan he'll be all over me if I don't get it in an hour and a half. So Cowboys Rams, real quick synopsises: 22-10, 4-1. Or correction, 27-22. All touchdowns for the Giants via the rushing. As we know, Saquon Barkley had a hell of a game. Green Bay gets a safety in the 4th quarter, but a little too late to matter. What does this mean for Green Bay? And what does this mean for the Giants going forward? That's my questions. Logan, start it off.
Yeah, Green Bay is looking cooked. They ain't looking good at all. Meanwhile, the Giants, pleasant surprise. They're looking really good. The whole team, Daniel Jones is picking it up a little bit, and Saquon, he's back to full form. I mean, I love him. He's number 1 running back for fantasy on my team, and he's given me a lot of work, and he's really looked good this year. Off him looking rough last year, that injury we all know hurt him, but he looks fully healthy and better than ever. And like I said, the Packers, they just ain't got it, man. They lack that true number 1 receiver. Right, Christian Watson, who everyone pegged to be the number 1 guy, he's not done much at all. Rodgers ain't looking the freshest either off that hefty contract he got. That defense ain't doing a whole lot either. So Green Bay ain't looking up, man. And if you're a Giants fan, I think they're on the hot seat, man. They're looking good. They're going up in the rankings.
Absolutely. Gonzo, if you're Debo, D-ball. I say Debo like I'm going back to freaking, I don't know where that show was back in the day, Boys in the Hood, whatever. If you're Debo,
It's Friday. That's Friday, sir.
Debo, Friday.
Get Jay
whatever.
off the mic.
Look, the one thing I love about this show is no matter what my mistakes are, I've always got the corrections on the immediate get-go. If you're Debo, however you want to say his name, how happy are you with your team at this point?
Oh, I think he's all right. I mean, what's the record now? 3-2.
No, they're actually
They're
3-2.
3-2.
Thank you, 3-2. So you're above 500.
Wait, no, they've only lost one game, haven't they?
No, yeah, they lost to the
They're
Vikings.
They're 4-1 on the season.
Yeah, 4-1.
No, they're not. They lost to the Vikings. Who are you talking about? The Packers?
The Giants.
Giants.
Oh,
they just
I
lost to
thought you were talking
the
about
Cowboys,
the Packers.
correct?
Yeah.
The Giants are
They're
4-1.
Hey, correction. They're
Packers are
4-1.
3-2.
Let's go. If you're 4-1 and you're Debo and you just took over this team, and you look, let's be honest, at wide receiver you're limited. At defense, you're getting better. At running back is probably your bright spot, but you're 4-1 and you just beat the Packers. What do you think?
I think Dayball's happy with the way things are going to start the season. Daniel Jones is not that he's playing great, but he's not turning the ball over. That's been his biggest problem is turnovers. Dayball's been able to correct that so far. Defense is looking better, like you said. The big weakness they have is at receiver position. They need help there terribly bad.
Oh, absolutely.
Saquon's looking like the guy you thought you had. So if I'm Dayball, I would think you feel pretty good about being 4-1 after your first 5 games.
Oh yeah, you got to imagine that he's probably ecstatic with his first 5 because everything from this point on, he can make tweaks to positional needs that he needs to, which most likely would be at the receiver position, maybe the quarterback position. If he gets lucky enough, like he can strike, a Bryce Young or a C.J. Stroud or whatever. Yeah, maybe you hop on that. Either way, he's looking pretty good for his first year. Let's put it this way: he's looking better than Matt Rule. He's looking better than Matt Rule. Would you agree? He's looking better than Matt Rule. I don't know who I've talked to yet. I lost my track and where I was at. Logan, I think I got you. Gonzo, I think I got you. Frankie, and then Jonathan. Frankie, what do you think about this in terms of where we're at?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying congratulations to the New York Giants. This is the first time since 2008 when they had Tom Coughlin and Eli Manning where they are 4-1 or better. Last time they were 5-0 in 2008. So this is a good start for them. They're riding really high with the ball. I think, that was a great fit for them. I have many Giant fans that are my friends. And they tricked me at the wedding, little assholes. I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry. Jay, you know what they did to me. I showed it to you and I told you, but we're not going to talk about it here.
Hey, we're all good. We're all good.
We're not going to talk about it here, but, this is a really good start for them. And Brian DeBall was that answer. You needed that coach that's been to it. This is a guy who's learned under Bill Belichick and Nick Saban and helped the Buffalo Bills revamp their offense. Their organization, shall I say. This man he's the answer. I'm going to agree with what Chris said. They do need weapons on the offense because, they lost Sterling Shepard. What's his name? Galladay. He's not looking like the guy that they signed for. So they need more offensive help. It can't be always Saquon Barkley because if you look at it, Saquon Barkley gave us a little scare on Sunday. He ended up hurting his arm, which is questioning for me because if this man hurt his arm and he comes back out and he's beasting, they must have gave him some type of medicine. We're not going to say it on here, but they gave him some type of medicine in that locker room to bring him back out there and just be beast mode. So, but it's a good start for the New York Giants and for the fan base. You guys should be happy because, hopefully they don't screw it up from here on out.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I want to point out before Logan gives his spiel and move on to the next game. Mr. Head does point out the Cowboys would be stupid to fix something that ain't broke, and I totally agree with him. Why fix something if it's not broke? I would not understand that logic whatsoever. He says he would not bring Dak back until Cooper loses, which again, I think is what you do. You ride the hot hand until something else happens or otherwise. Again, the underdogkings.com took the Giants on the food. I don't know what he means by the food, plus 8 points because the Packs look bad. And then Packers do look bad. Logan, what's your thoughts before we get on to the next game?
I've already talked about the Packers and Giants.
Okay, good. Okay, let's get on to real quick. I'm not going to talk about the Bills and the Steelers too much. The only thing I want to talk about the Bills and the Steelers is that catch that Gabe Davis made. That one-handed catch that he made was stupid. And when I say stupid, it was better than Odell Beckham only because of the distance and the speed in which that pass was going and what Gabe Davis had to do to bring it in. And I was beside myself. Again, Steelers defense was terrible, 0 sacks, and they only got 2 for loss. 4 touchdowns for Allen, 1 pick. Who cares? And 45 yards rushing.
How many sacks did the Buffalo Bills get, Jay?
You know what? I did not look at the Buffalo Bills specifically. I know Pickett did get off 327 for a pick. I did not get the Bills sack numbers. If you had that, that would be amazing.
Yeah, if somebody can look that up, because last week we talked about it, Jay, and I gave Kenny Pickett a new name. Do you remember what it was?
God, come on, man. I can't remember my name from last week. What are you talking about?
I changed Kenny Pickett's name to Kenny Sackett because I believed that he was going to get sacked a lot of times in this game. I just want to know how many sacks did the Buffalo Bills get on him.
But you know what? I will say this.
He got 3 sacks.
I understand where you're going with that, but I will say this. The fact that Pickett threw for 327, yes, he did not get a touchdown. Yes, he did get a pick. I think Pickett, as a freshman, quarterback to the NFL and going against probably one of the best teams in the NFL, he still held his own. So I think Pickett's going to be okay. To be honest with you, Frank, I think Pickett's going to be okay, but we do got to move on. If you get that stat, find out. Let me know.
He said 3. He said 3.
What was it?
3 sacks.
Okay, so Pickett sustained 3 sacks. But, at the end of the day, I'm not – you know what? If I'm Mike Tomlin and I'm looking at Pickett at 327, yes, he had a pick. Yes, he got sacked 3 times. But at the end of the day, man, you went against the best damn team probably in the AFC. You know what? I'm going to cut you a little slack, and we're going to keep improving. And next year, we're going to get better. So, again, for Pickett, I don't think this is a bad outing. I just think it was an outing that he can improve upon and keep moving forward. And we're going to leave it at that. Dolphins, Jets. We know the Dolphins were on their third string quarterback. We know that they lost 17 to 40. I'm going to go down the – hey, look, I'm going to tell you right now, when your quarterback is the third stringer, it is what it is. I'm going to go down the line real quick. Hey, response is quick. Logan.
Yeah, not looking good for the Fins. Hope Tua gets back soon, or else it's going to be rough.
Absolutely. And also understand that Bridgewater went down with a concussion. Thompson comes in and is not really truly effective. Mostert did have a good day rushing. I want to give Mostert out of the Dolphins some credit. He gave 18 rushes for 113 yards, which I thought was pretty damn good. But I thought Wilson was not effective at 210 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. And then Breece Hall, Jesus Christ. Breece Hall against the Miami defense was pretty damn amazing at 18 rushes for 97 and 100 yards receiving on 2 catches. Breece Hall, you were the fucking champ for the Jets. Okay, real quick, Gonzo, thoughts on that game?
Zach Wilson's looked pretty good since he's came back for the Jets. Other than that, I didn't watch a whole lot of that game, to be honest with you, Jay.
I don't think a lot of people watched a lot of that game, to be honest with you, because Tua wasn't in that game and nobody really gave a damn about the Jets. Logan.
Yeah, like I said, Jets looking pretty decent, honestly. We'll see if Wilson can continue the hot streak he's on.
Absolutely. Frankie, hey, who won today? Was it the Astros or Seattle?
I'm not gonna keep doing this.
Oh,
I'm not gonna keep doing this.
I'm
Everybody
sorry,
knows
Frankie,
who
but
won.
hey, Frankie, you can understand my questioning.
Jay, you
but
already got
again,
it twice out of me. Don't try and get it 3 times.
Frankie, hey, look, you're my brother. I'm the uncle to your nieces. You'll do what I tell you. But no, seriously, on a real serious note, though, what did you think about the game?
I thought it was. Wait, which game are we talking about again?
Jets Dolphins.
Oh yeah. I thought it was absolutely insane. I mean, what the hell? What's going on with the Dolphins defense? I understand, their offense is banged up and stuff like that, but Tua Tagovailoa and you got Teddy Bridgewater, who's both in concussion protocol, but Teddy Bridgewater is not, Tua Tagovailoa is not doing football activities at the moment. So I understand that point. But the defense, come on, you gave the New York Jets 40 points. This is a defense that stopped the Baltimore Ravens, a defense that beat the Buffalo Bills, a defense that stopped Bill Belichick. And you let the New York Jets score 40 points on you guys. The defense needs to turn it around.
Okay, and Hood 305. I did not understand food related to points. I'm a very white Caucasian person. You got to break it down a little further than that in the private chat in order if you want me to understand what the hell's going on, because I was totally freaking clueless. Jonathan, did I get you already? If not, please give me respect.
Yeah, and now the defense has a little bit more pressure on them because the offense is banged up. The offense is down to a third string quarterback now. So now they have to rely heavily on the defense and hope the defense can get turnovers and get them the short field where they can run the football more effectively. That's the only hope for the Dolphins right now. But the Jets, Zach Wilson, man, he showed encouraging signs in that game, and he looked really, really good since his return.
Absolutely. And I want to throw if I may, real quick before we get in. Gonzo, did you go yet? I don't want to skip nobody. Gonzo, did you go yet?
Yep.
Logan? Okay, everybody's gone. Real quick, if I may, we are very lucky to have James Bell watching the show. I want to tell you guys how much of an influence in my life James Bell has been. He was my first sergeant in Afghanistan. And he comes in and he says, and now you gotta understand, James Bell is a Seattle Mariners fan. I hate that. And he's a Buffalo Bills fan, which I know Rob Strite would love. But James Bell, First Sergeant Bell, chimes in, only played against the first team. Bills defense for the half of the game hung, and the score had 3 points. Okay, James, I don't know how to translate that, but okay. Real quick, next game we're going to get into is the Eagles versus the Cardinals. The Eagles are obviously, as we know, 5-0. The Cardinals have now slipped down to 2-3. They lost the game by a field goal at 20-17. We know that Hurts' pedestrian passing game of 26 out of 36, 239 and 2 sacks wasn't exactly, let's just say it wasn't exactly his best efforts. Hurts did rush 15 times for 61 yards and 2 touchdowns, so he rushed better than he did passing. Murray did give you a 50-50 day, 28-42, 250, 1-1, and he rushed 42 yards, 4 carries. So it's safe to say that Murray had a better day than Hurts. However, they did not exactly win the game. Again, nobody scored a touchdown in the game, at least on the passing end of things. So on a very, what I would like to consider two guys that are good at mobilization as well as passing. Really didn't pass as well as they probably should have, but they definitely ran well. And the defense didn't do their job, in my opinion, which gave the Eagles the advantage to get them over a field goal 5-0 or 5-0 to 2-3 at that point, 20-17. Thoughts and considerations, Logan?
Yeah, close win by the Eagles, but a win is a win nonetheless. Hurst didn't look the greatest, neither did Kyler. It's the defense, man. They did their own. They shut out the Cardinals in 2 quarters, and they got done in the end.
Absolutely. Jonathan.
Yes, the Eagles are very committed to playing defense. They play tough on the defensive side of the ball. I expect that to continue from the Eagles. And like Logan said, they shut it down in the second half particularly. And the Cardinals just never stood a chance against a very stifling and suffocating defense.
Absolutely. Frankie.
Yeah, the Eagles are looking red hot defensively and offensively. Hopefully they can keep the momentum going. It was a really, good game against the Cardinals, but now they got a tough one coming up against the Cowboys. So I can't wait to see what this one's going to bring out.
Gonzo. Cliff Kingsbury needs fired. Terrible clock management. Terrible clock management at the end of that game.
And he just come straight out and said,
"Yes,
Cliff Kingsbury needs to be fired."
Between him and Kyler Murray, they botched that last drive up so much, where you could have had a hell of a lot closer field goal for a kicker. I don't know how he's already on his 3rd team this season. Don't know how the dude keeps getting the job anyway.
I don't either. I really don't. I don't know how he gets the job either. It's crazy to me.
Arizona had chances to win that game. The Eagles defense came up big when they needed to, but Kingsbury, to me, I don't know how he still has a job, and they signed him to an extension, which is even crazier because that dude, he makes some questionable decisions a lot.
Absolutely. And because I know that my boy, my brother, if you will, is probably going to be the harshest critic against the Cowboys. That's why I'm asking him this last question before we get into this Bengals real quick, and then we're going to move on to the next topic. But Frankie, don't make it long. Make it a quick statement. But I'm going to ask you, given what the Eagles have done past games up to now, including the Cardinals game, which he did not score a touchdown passing-wise. We did rush him, but he did not pass him. How do you fare the Eagles against the Cowboys next week?
I think it's going to be a really close game, honestly. I mean, the Cowboys defense is honestly finally showing up good. I think they'll do fine compared to the Eagles offense. Yes, like you said, he didn't get a passing touchdown, but Jalen Hurts is a mobile quarterback, so expect to see Jalen Hurts run a lot, especially with Micah Parsons coming at him. So it's going to be really good. And then also on the other side of the ball, you got, like I said, Cooper Rush is playing fantastic football right now, 5-0 as a starting quarterback against the number 3 defense in the NFL right now. So it's going to be a good matchup. On paper, I can't tell you right now who I'm going to have on paper-wise. You're going to have to wait closer on later into the week.
Hey, we'll get that on Thursday.
Yeah,
I'll get
maybe
that
by
from you on
Thursday. Maybe by Thursday I'll have my pick for the papers. But right now, that's the game that I'm actually most excited to watch for, and I'm glad that it's a Sunday night game.
Hey, real quick, I'm going to give a 3-second pause. If there's anybody in this chat group, podcast, whatever you want to call it, that thinks that this is the game to watch for the week, please speak now.
I do.
Anybody else for this game of the week?
Because you have a red hot Cowboys who's 4-1 compared to a division rival.
Oh no, Frank, you in the books. Frank, you in the books. I'm in the books too. Me and you in the books. Does anybody outside of me and Frankie think that this is the game of the week? Okay, there you go. There you have it.
Wow.
Nobody else thinks this is. No, that's okay, Frankie.
Can I say what game I think is going to be the game of the week?
It's must
No,
see.
you can go to hell. No, Gonzo, you can go to hell.
Bills
It's
and
must see
Chiefs.
TV for sure.
I got
Bills
Bills
and
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
No, honestly,
No.
and Gonzo knows I play with Gonzo. Gonzo, what do you think is the game of the week?
No, Bills and Chiefs I think might be the game of
Hell
the week
no.
to watch.
Hell no.
Let me ask you a question. No, because listen, I love
Not a
Gonzo and I
bad
respect him.
It's
No,
not a
I
bad
respect
matchup.
Gonzo. I do respect Gonzo. But Gonzo, at the end of the day, who is the only undefeated team in the league, honestly?
Exactly.
Yeah, the Eagles.
And they go up against a division rival against the Cowboys. I'm just saying, nobody gonna overlook the Bills and the Chiefs, but we've seen the Bills and the Chiefs and so forth in that division. But we ain't seen the Dallas Cowboys and the Eagles go at it, and one of them is the best team in the league. I'm just saying, if I'm Monday Night Football, I'm not putting Bills and Chiefs on there. I'm putting Eagles, Cowboys, because I know that's going to be the money grabber. But it's okay. I respect everybody's opinion. If Gonzo wants to see the Bills and the Chiefs, well, damn it, Gonzo wants to see the Bills and the Chiefs.
He wants a rematch of last January.
He wants a rematch of the last 2 years, damn it.
Hey, real quick, last game. Hey, folks, last game. Bengals versus the Rams. We know Burrow had a 50-50 game. Jackson, he didn't look so good in the passing game. However, we do know that Lamar was very key in his runs in that game-winning drive that gave them the field goal. Real quick, guys, real quick. We got to go on the next topic. I'm going to go through you guys. Just give me your brief thoughts, and then we got to get out of here. Logan.
This is going to be a tough one, but I'd go with the Rams kind of getting an upset.
Yeah. Frankie.
What? I wasn't paying attention to you, Jay.
I know you are. That's why I love you. The Rams, the Ravens and Bengals. What did you think about the Ravens and the Bengals game?
Oh, it was a really questionable game. I mean, I expected more out of it. It was okay, but I expected more out of it.
But Frankie, I'm really asking and let me ask you guys. When I ask you this question, I'm really asking this question based on Lamar Jackson not having gotten his contract yet and him being in a contract year. So when you think about the game, think about Lamar Jackson. What does it mean to his contract year that he's in? So, Frank, I'm going to ask you that again.
Damn it!
When it comes to what do you think about that game? Ravens and Bengals.
Jay, I don't even give a shit right now.
Okay, no big deal. I get it. You're watching the Yankees. I get it.
We just gave up a freaking home run. I apologize.
Oh, they just gave up.
No. Hey, hold on.
Rub it in, Jonathan.
Hey, listen. I don't want to depress Frankie, but it is true.
Shut up, Jonathan. So what if he got a homer? Guess what?
How
many rings do they have?
Hey, hold on, guys. We're gonna get to all the baseball stuff in a matter of about 2.5 seconds. So hold on to the baseball stuff. Jonathan, real quick, Ravens Bengals.
Ravens Bengals.
Focus, everybody.
I mean, it was an okay game. I think everybody put so much energy into the quarterback matchup between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. And we all know how Lamar Jackson has been on the money this year as he's potentially looking for that big money contract down the line. But it was okay. It was a better performance out of Joe Burrow.
Absolutely. Is there anybody else, before I get on the next subject, is there anybody else that I have not touched? Logan, did I touch base with you?
We're good. I got the Ravens.
All right. We're going to roll on. Hey, we're going to roll on to the next subject matter. Holy cow, did that take a lot to get through? MLB Playoff Preview. We're going to start off with the Phillies and the Braves. Oh, my God. The Phillies just came out so hot, Logan. It was, if I could compare the two, watching the Phillies and the Braves was like watching a Ferrari against a Ford Taurus. and you guys picked up a little steam and became maybe a Miata by halfway through the game. But at the end of the day, that Ferrari kicked your ass. The pitching put a really good spot on you. The hitting put a spot on you. And you guys had like no answer for the Phillies. What's your reaction since this is your team?
I mean, we lost by 1. I'd rather lose by 1 than lose by 7, which is how it looked for a little bit. Tough loss, but hey, we lost game 1 last year, the DS, and look what we did. So hopefully history repeats itself. Max Fried didn't look sharp, and hopefully we can bounce back game 2.
Absolutely. And let's be honest, if you know anything about this Atlanta Braves team, and I know a lot about this Atlanta Braves team, number one, that Strider hasn't pitched yet, and Strider, in my opinion, is still your best pitcher. Strider is just incredibly stupid and gifted as a pitcher. So we haven't seen Strider yet. So we know we can easily, even up that series quick and in a hurry. And again, the Phillies, they came out, they came strong, they came with it. But I think come game 2 in Atlanta, I think we even up that series, and I think they go 1-1 going back to Philadelphia. That's my opinion. Frankie, what did you think about the Philadelphia Phillies and the Braves game?
Yeah, it was really an interesting game. Like you said, Philadelphia came out real hot, but it's still not over. It's the first game. Sometimes when you lose the first game, it's a little momentum ride. Maybe the Atlanta Braves are still, still on their little day off things. We all just came back from a 5-day rest, and the Astros even looked a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning. But like the Braves, they end up coming back and fighting. They end up coming back and fighting at the very end. But the difference is the Houston Astros won and the Braves didn't. But the Braves got a game tomorrow to make up, and I think the Braves are still here to fight for it. And I think the Braves can win this series.
Before we get to the next commenter, I do want to take a momentary pause on Robert Scott's post. NFC East is the best division of football, and I got to be honest with you guys. I want to take this momentary pause because if you know anything about the NFC East, probably since 1996, 97-ish, the NFC East, and well, I wouldn't say that. Maybe a little further on, when Eli Manning did get the 2 wins over Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, I would probably even put it maybe at that point. I would probably put at the last Super Bowl victory of the Giants over the Patriots, probably was the last time the NFC East really mattered in the NFL. But if you look at it now in 2022, and you see what the Eagles, Cowboys, and Giants are doing in the league, it's time to put some respect back on the NFC East for what we've accomplished. And if anybody disagrees with that in the podcast, please, by all means, speak forward real quick before we get into this next topic. Damian Hernandez says Lamar almost cost them the game when he threw you're right, but again, if you look at his comeback drive, you can say, okay, Lamar righted the ship. I mean, it is what it is about Lamar. I say about Lamar is only as good as his rushing game. If Lamar's rushing game is on point, so will the team's game be on point. If his rushing game is not on point, then that Ravens team is probably going to be in a tough spiral. And that's where I think Lamar Jackson, I want to see more out of Lamar Jackson to get that big contract that he's so looking for. I want to see more out of that passing game from Lamar to justify the biggest contract most likely that will hit the NFL. Damien also goes on to say watching the Phillies game was like watching the Cowboys losing to the 49ers in the wild card last season. Laugh out loud. Go F yourself, Damien.
What a comparison.
Yeah, what a comparison. We're not going to go that direction. We're gonna get back into the commentators themselves. Jonathan Mathis. When it came to the Phillies Braves, what did you think about it, brother?
Well, the Phillies look like a team that suddenly refuses to lose, and today they look like a team that wouldn't be denied. And the crazy part about it is that Kyle Schwarber didn't hit. I believe he went.
Yeah, he did not.
I
Kyle
believe
Schwarber
he
was
went
ineffective.
0 for 5 or something like that. He had an awful day. And didn't really produce for the team, but Nick Castellanos came up big for the Phillies, and that's a guy that everyone was fussing about during the regular season because he couldn't get anything going offensively, and he was in a massive slump, and he finally broke out of it and looked like he's getting hot at the right time, as well as everybody else on this Phillies team. It's great to see. This is a Phillies team that I wouldn't want to play right now. You got Alex Brom, who's hitting the ball very well. You got other guys that's putting the ball in play. Segura. These guys are getting on base. And another thing the Phillies do so well, they jump on you early. They play aggressive early. And I think that's what they've done so well is set the tone early in games. And when they jump on you early, they usually have a successful day at the ballpark.
No, there's no doubt about that. I don't disagree with you. Logan, before we go to Frankie, God, my memory is terrible. I did hit you up first,
Yes,
correct?
yes, I went. Yep, we're good.
Okay. Frankie, my question for you is this. If you watched that Phillies game, and I know you watched that Phillies game because I was on my couch and you were texting me. So I know you watched the game. If you watched that game and you know that Philadelphia came out in the first on Fried, however you want to say his name, and you put up 2 runs out the get, no big deal. I mean, it happens. And then, as long as you bounce back, we're good. And Atlanta did. Atlanta came back on the second and made it 2-1. No big deal. We're good. But then Philadelphia comes back and puts up another 2 on you in the third. Now we're looking at 4-1 in the third. I got to be honest with you. They rode Fried much longer than that. But if you're down 4-1 and you're going in the third, are you not warming up your bullpen and saying, like, okay, I need to get something going now?
No, I think that's way too early. I mean, 4-1 is still not that bad. It's only 3 runs. 2 men on base, somebody can hit a home run, and you got a tie ball game right there. I wouldn't say start your bullpen that early because, like I said, it's not like the Braves are like me and you, Jay. Me and you, we have a day off tomorrow. The Braves don't. The Braves have to play tomorrow. So if you went to your bullpen early, then you have to go pitcher after pitcher after pitcher because bullpen players are not supposed to be lasting that long into the game. So you don't want to, waste your pitching rotation that early. So I think they made an okay move by keeping their starting pitcher in there.
And truthfully, compared to the Astros, our bullpen is so deep. We got 2 starters, 2 closers, and 3 relief. We can go forever, honestly. We can go forever. And then still come back the next day and then go forever again. But I get your point. When it comes to Atlanta, you don't have that luxury. But when it comes to Atlanta and you give up 2 runs and then you give up 2 runs, now you're down 6-1 in the fourth when you probably could have been down, 4-1 had you put in a reliever and salvaged the game because at the end of the day, you lost 7-6. You lost by a run. You lost by 1 run. So I'm going to ask again. We're going to go to Gonzo this go around. Gonzo, the final score was 7-6. You know that Fried gave up 6 out of the 7. Do you not pull Fried at 4-1? Give your bullpen the go at it, and hopefully that you probably could have pulled out the win.
I didn't have a problem with them leaving Fried in because, like Frankie said, you don't want to put too much load on your bullpen. Plus, if you look at that game, if the Braves took advantage of when they had runners in scoring position, they would have won the game anyway. They had bases loaded at least once, I think twice, and didn't get no runs. Then they had runners on first and third and didn't get any runs.
Family meeting on Friday.
They left a lot of the Braves left a lot of runners on base, or they would have won that game, even though they got off to a slow start.
Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. Absolutely. No doubt about it. And then that's my thing is I felt like, the Braves could have probably won that game had they pulled their starters sooner. But again, I understand pulling a starter too soon is not necessarily the best thing either. So I understand both perspectives. Hindsight is always better than foresight, right? Because when you can look back on things, you can say, oh, I should have done this or that, rather than foresight. But at the same time, hey, look, man, if I know this is win or go home, and I feel like, it's 2-1, 3-1, and 3-1 at 3-1 in the fourth, I'm thinking like, you know what? I've seen enough of him that I know he doesn't have it. Gonzo, I watched this game from beginning to end. And by the third inning, I knew Freed didn't have it.
Oh, I watched the whole game too, Jay.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is I knew Freed was done. Like I knew him in terms of being competitive, right? In terms of him being competitive and keeping us in the race, he was done by the third inning. And I'm like, go to your bullpen. Get your bullpen in there. Yeah, I know they're coming in early, but get your bullpen in there. Let's see if we can salvage this game because every game is crucial. Every game. And I feel like if you would have got the bullpen in there a little bit earlier, they probably could have came out with the win, and then they would have had to regroup for game 2. But I'd rather regroup for game 2 with a win on my side than a loss in my column. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. And it doesn't mean it's right because I'm certainly not a manager of any baseball team. Logan, what's your thoughts? Okay, Logan's not there. Frankie, what's your thoughts?
I already said my thoughts on this, Jay.
Okay, good deal. Jonathan, did you go already?
Yes.
All right, we're going on to the next game. Then we go on to Seattle and Houston. Oh, my God. Man, I'm not going to lie to you, man. Hey, look. Verlander's my guy. I've been with Verlander, even when Verlander was in Detroit. I've always looked at when he got his first Cy Young there in Detroit. And I said, man, if the Astros could ever get this guy on our team, man, we would have a really, really, really good chance at doing some damage, on the American League. And then when they signed Verlander, it was just I just saw how he, no matter what Verlander does, he just kept getting better and better. Then he goes in. I'm gonna fast forward. We go into Tommy John this year or last year. I should say not last year, but the year before last. He goes into Tommy John, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what he's gonna do. He comes back and he just lights out to the point where I'm pretty sure, unless you're an idiot, you're gonna give Verlander the Cy Young of the American League. He's gonna get the Cy Young of the American League. I can't imagine anybody even come close to Verlander for Cy Young of the American League. Now, but I have seen over the correspondence of several seasons with Verlander that he has 2 modes. Verlander's got 2 modes. He either comes out hot, where he's just on his game and you're done right from the first inning on. You're done. Or he comes out slow and he doesn't click until about the 3rd inning. But once he clicks the 3rd inning, if the offense is clicking with him, he's getting the game win. If not, then okay, maybe you take the loss. So Verlander has 2 speeds. And when he came out this evening, he came out with the slowest speed ever. Like you could tell he was struggling. But even though in his struggles, he still managed to only allow 1 run. And then, you saw him go forward until about the 4th inning where he gave up, I think, 2 or 3 more runs. And then you could tell Dusty's like, you know what? He had an okay start, but this is postseason. We can't let this get any further than what it is. And he decided to pull Verlander, and then he went to his bullpen. And once we went to the bullpen, we minimized, because at that point, I think it was already at I think it was at 6 runs, and then I think the 7th run did come in the bullpen series. But at the same time, our offense was still putting up, a run here and there. Kept us close at 7-3.
Harrison Bader, baby.
And then, yes, I seen that. Hey, Frankie, don't worry. We're going to get that.
Tie-ball game.
Hold on, Frankie. I know. Hey, Frankie, you're like a young girl just, getting her shorts for the first time. Hold on, right, Frankie. Frankie, we're about to be at the New York series here in about 2 seconds. Hold on. But my point is this: to wrap up this, that Seattle-Houston series, like I told Mickey Delaney, the Astros never give up. And as long as our bullpen can hold them to 7 and allow our, offense to get in gear, then we're going to be okay. And when Gurriel and Bregman and, the players afterwards that got all the runs, and then at the point where, Alvarez got the walk-off in the bottom of the 9th, you can never, ever, ever, ever count out the Astros. This team will fight all the way to the last out. And I'm telling you, and like Frankie, I'm going to tell you right now, Frankie thought the Astros were going to lose. I thought the Astros were going to lose. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought the Astros were going to lose. I doubted them my damn self. But as the Astros always do, they overcome all odds. And they show everybody. They show the nation. They show everybody. The Astros are their legit team. This team does not quit. And like I said in the morning show, Frankie, Seattle, nah, we ain't worried about Seattle. We'll see you in the ALCS, brother. And I turn it over now to Logan because Frankie's going to come up next. Logan. Okay, Logan's not there. Frankie.
Yeah, it was a really a really good game, Jay. Honestly, that's what you call playoff baseball right there, where you have your ace, who literally is the Cy Young winner this year in my eyes as well, who gave up 6 runs the entire game, and you got the Houston Astros, who has that mentality of fighting and coming back. You got Alex Bregman there, who hit a good, solid, hard 2-run homer. You got, your boy, what's his name, Alvarez, who got your game-winning 3-run home run to walk it off. So the Astros, I never sleep on the Astros, and we always said, Jay, since the season has started, never give up on a team until the very end of the last pitch or the last strikeout or whatever like that. Because you've seen it and I've seen it many times when we face off against each other. You guys had a 3-run lead on us, and we will end up coming back with a walk-off home run. So you never give up on a team. And you're right. We both thought that the Houston Astros were done in this game because they did go into the 9th inning down by 3 runs, but down by 2 runs. I apologize. But they found a way to do it, and that's what's called hard-fought baseball right there. And this is what playoff baseball is all about.
Hell yeah, this is what playoff baseball is about, baby. I freaking love it. God, I went through several levels of depression before I became extremely jubilated. Jonathan Mathis, thought process, brother.
It's October baseball. Anything can
Damn right.
In October, and the Astros, once again, they prove resilient. They know how to respond in big moments, and they did that today. Once again, they overcame all odds to pull off a come from behind victory in walk-off fashion, thanks to Air Jordan over there, Jordan Alvarez, who is an absolute power hitting machine. I mean, this guy is amazing. You can't get enough of him on what he brings to that Astros team. And we talk about it all the time. The man has a can eye. He hits with power, and he absolutely today carried that Astros team to victory. The Seattle Mariners, on the other hand, this was a deflating loss because they had game 1, and the Astros took game 1 from them because the Astros never let up. I think the Mariners kind of let up, and this is a wake-up call for them. But you got to remember this too. The Astros have been there before. The Seattle Mariners haven't been in this situation before. They're a young, inexperienced ball club. So hopefully they can regroup, bounce back from this. But a loss like this is always deflating. especially in the final moments of that game where you give up the walk-off homer.
Yeah, absolutely. Logan?
Yeah, good win by the Astros. Like you said, it looked rough, but they got the big win in the end. And as for the Mariners, tough loss. See if they can bounce back from it the next day and make this a series now. But tough loss to come back from.
Absolutely. And I got to be honest with you guys. When I think about this Mariners and Astros series, and they got through the Verlander episode into the Astros bullpen, and they carried the lead much of the night up until about the eighth going into the ninth. In fact, you went into the ninth. If you can't beat a team and you've already passed Verlander on, what do you expect to do when you got to face Bomber, Valdez, Lance McCullers, and Luis Garcia the three next nights? I'm just saying, put it in perspective. It is what it is. Now we're gonna move into the Guardians and Yankees. Currently, right now, like Frankie said, that the series is tied, at one apiece. The Yankee Cole's looking pretty good. Quantrill is still looking pretty good. The Yankees have won 5 out of 6 in regular season against the Guardians, and Cole is 2-0 versus the Guardians. But again, the score is tied at one apiece. What is your thought process? I still think I'm going to believe the weak link. I know for the Yankees, and Frankie's not going to want to hear this, but the weak link and what should be the strong link for the Yankees is Aaron Judge. And what I mean by that is Aaron Judge, if Quantrill slips up and throws him, a pitch above the knees, well, then he's going to get crushed. But I think if Quantrill can operate below the knees, whether it be inside or outside on that slider, whatever, then Aaron Judge is going to strike out, and so will Stanton, because Stanton kind of falls behind that same path. So the point is, if Quantrill can control his command and get Aaron Judge to chase like Aaron Judge likes to chase, then the Seattle Mariners can still win this game. And I think that's kind of where it falls into place, is how well they pitched Aaron Judge, and the way they pitched Aaron Judge will control this game. And I think the Astros pretty much solidified that in the doubleheader when they were given the sliders and the sinkers. No, I'm serious. When they were given the sliders and the sinkers, Aaron Judge was chasing. If you look at the strikeout ratio that Aaron Judge had against those types of pitches, you would see what the success should look like for the Cleveland Guardians. And that's my shtick on it. Frankie, this is your team. I'm giving you absolute uncontrol. Let's go. No F-bombs, though, please.
Man, so there's really not much to say. For one, I just got to say congratulations on that beautiful catch by Oswaldo Cabrera, our rookie, who made the playoff roster. Fantastic job. It was a foul ball. Looked like it was going to go into the fans, but he ended up jumping up and getting that shit. I'm sorry. I shouldn't curse. You just told me not to. But, man, it's a good start. Garrett Cole gave up a home run, and the Cleveland Guardians pitcher just gave up a home run. So we got an interesting ball game in our hands. And then, I think the Yankees are going to have this locked in from here on out, because once Garrett Cole gives up a home run, he gets upset, and he gets locked in, and he gets ready to go, and he gets loaded. But I don't know how many innings he got left, because he's at 64 pitches right now. Beautiful diving stop by Josh Donaldson to get an out.
I was about to say that diving stop by Donaldson was incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, it is going to be a really interesting series, but I'm happy right now. Harrison Bader, baby, finally got his first home run as a Yankee, and he did it in the playoffs. So it's going to be real interesting the rest of the way. You'll get my reaction, Jay, live on text message off screen, so that way I can curse.
Absolutely, and I expect full cursing. Jonathan,
Yeah, the Yankees should take advantage tonight, particularly in Game 1. Got Garrett Cole on the mound. The Cleveland Guardians, they already used the arm of Shane Bieber. So this is your night to jump on the Guardians. Hopefully pull out Game 1 victory. I think they should. Cabrera, he's a nice defensive player. Never gives up on a play. Makes sensational plays out there. Of course, you got Aaron Judge. We all know how historic of a season he had. Garrett Cole, hopefully he has a better postseason this year, put together some great outings. That's going to be critical for the Yankees moving forward. But I think in the end, the Yankees should come away with a serious victory against a very young Guardians team that really has nothing to lose.
No, absolutely. I think I covered everybody before we get into now the Padres. Logan, did you go? If you didn't, I apologize, Logan.
No,
if you didn't go,
I'll make it short. Give me the Yankees in 5. Excuse me. Give me the Yankees in 4. I forget the 5-game series.
Man, you know how close you were to Frankie coming through the screen and yanking your throat out. But anyway, we will live to fight another day. He's like, no, that wasn't that bad. We're gonna move into the Padres and Dodgers, which is the game.
Let's go!
Which is the game that should be even actually getting ready. Actually, the Yankees and the Padres and Dodgers goes down at 9:37. So they extremely had the late game. As we know, 79.4% have the Dodgers over the Padres. It's going to be Clevenger versus Urias in this matchup. Clevenger has a 4.33 ERA, 7-7, 91 Ks, and a 1.20 WHIP. When I look at the Padres, they got a 241 batting average, or maybe 245. I think it's 241. 241 average and an ERA of 3.81. And when I look at the Dodgers, they got an ERA of 2.80 and a batting average of 2.57. So if we want to go analytical, I think the Dodgers should get the win over the Padres. But if you want to look at the physicality of things, the Padres have looked pretty damn good against Scherzer and DeGrom, even though they got the one in the third, I think it was against Walker. But at the end of the day, if I had to give you a winner, I do think the Dodgers have the pitching in this game. And I also think they have the hitting and Mookie Betts and company to take out the win. So I'm going to give Dodgers game 1 win, even though the Padres are playing really, really well. And because this is Jonathan Mathis' team, I'm going to give Jonathan Mathis first critiques. Jonathan, how do you see game 1 going against the Dodgers and Padres?
Well, you have Julio Urias on the mound. He's your best arm in the starting rotation. You got Clayton Kershaw going game 2. So the Dodgers have a very, very good chance winning game 1. Julio Urias has pitched really well against the Padres. The Padres haven't won the regular season matchup against the Dodgers. The Dodgers have clearly dominated them in epic fashion when you think about it. The Dodgers match really well against the Padres. The Padres have star power, so does the Dodgers. The Dodgers have a pretty good lineup, so does the Padres. This is going to be a very interesting series. The Padres won't back down. They're not afraid of the Dodgers. Neither of the Dodgers are afraid of the Padres. So I think this is going to be a great series. I think the Dodgers win. I think the Dodgers win in 5.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say it's gonna go 5 because I feel like these teams are equally matched. I feel like if the Dodgers get game 1 tonight, there's a possibility that the Padres can still game 2. This is the reason they went all in before the trade deadline. This is the reason they landed Juan Soto. They made that splashy acquisition to acquire him at the deadline. They did that to contend against the Dodgers in the playoffs. They made it real clear that they wanted to meet the Dodgers in the playoffs and show the world that hey, we can hang tough with them, just like before. So I think that's why they made all these moves. They have Manny Machado, who has hit the Dodgers pretty well since he's left the Dodgers and joined the Padres. So this is going to be a good series. And don't get Jake Cronenworth going. And Trent Grissom has played consistently well of late. So this is going to be an interesting series. But I give the slight edge to the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers will pull it out. The Dodgers know what's at stake here. They know that this could be their final opportunity to win a World Series. So now is the time to actually cash in. The Dodgers have that in the back of their mind. They know how critical these games will be. And I think the Dodgers in the end will settle the score and will come out as the better team.
Yo, you guys hear that? You guys hear this jokester? He said his team is
Hold on, Frankie, hold on. I'm letting you wrap it all up, and you can get last say. So hold on a minute. Logan, when I come to you, I listen to what Jonathan Mathis had to say, and he does make some good points. I think of the Padres as having Clevenger, their number one, probably Darvish, maybe their number two, and then they have or Snell at their number two, and then Darvish as their number three. So it's not like by any means that the Padres lack in pitching. We know what Manny Machado is capable of. We know the X factor in Juan Soto. We also know the X factor in Musgrove. And what all those guys bring to the plate, what is your thought process now on the Dodgers Padres in terms of game one specifically? And then if you want to give your, overall as well.
Yeah, game one, I think the Dodgers come out hot. They come out swinging. Obviously, we know they got a giant payroll. They better do something with it, or else I know Jonathan's going to be pissed. But like we mentioned, don't sleep on the Padres, right? No one expected them to beat the Mets. They beat the Mets.
Nobody.
They gave up only one hit to the Mets. And they were down 22 games in terms of regular season wins. No one gave them a chance, but they beat them, and they only one hit them. So the Padres are a scrappy team, man, and sometimes those teams have the hottest Octobers, have a tremendous postseason run, and the Padres could very well be that team. People think it could be the Mariners, but we saw what happened tonight, Jay. The Cleveland, yeah. I'm not sure. I think Cleveland's a little bit too young. They are the youngest team in baseball. The Phillies, I'm not going to pick the Phillies. Come on. And I don't know, man. I think the Padres could have a good chance at this. I think they could take it deep. I don't see them getting swept, though. But like I said, I do think the Dodgers take game one, though.
Absolutely. Before I go to Frankie, because Frankie's going to be the one that wraps this bad boy up, I do have like I said, the Dodgers taking game one. I think Urias does take out Clevenger with his 4.33 ERA. But I'm going to tell you right now, I do believe this game goes 5, and I do think the Padres will take it, in the end. I do have the Padres advancing on to play the Atlanta Braves, and that was my ALCS teams. Frankie, what is your thought process?
Yeah, it's going to be a really good, series, just like the Astros and the Mariners, and also the Braves and the Braves and the Phillies. This is literally a division rival. This isn't just a division series matchup. This is a division rival and a division series matchup. 3 of these series are division rivals, and it's really interesting, especially with this one. And on paper, you expect the Dodgers to win it. Obviously, they got the heavy offense, the heavy pitching staff, and then the heavy bullpen. But I'm going to ride with the Padres as well, Jay. I think the Padres are riding off of this momentum win over the Mets, a team that's over 100 wins who couldn't do anything, obviously, in the playoffs. Like Logan said, they gave up only one hit. So I think, Manny Machado has a fantastic game. I think Juan Soto finally shows up and have a fantastic game. Juan Soto's been in this position before. He knows what to do in the playoffs. So I think the San Diego Padres actually win this one in 4 games.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. I think we're going to cut it off there, and we'll see what happens going forward. We're going to get into our next topic now. which
All
is going
right,
to be a
fellas,
brief
I'm
topic.
checking out.
No, you good, Jonathan. Have a good day, but appreciate
All right.
you coming on the show, man. And go Padres.
Go Dodgers. Peace.
Peace out. Real quick, we're gonna get into the UGA back on top. I don't know if I agree with this, Frankie. Let me get your thought process on this. For me, if I had to rank this order in the top 5 at least, I would probably rank it Ohio, Georgia, Alabama, then Clemson, Michigan, Tennessee, USC, and go for it. But I think the change that I would make in the current lineup right now, they got Georgia at number 1, and then Ohio, Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, Tennessee, USC. And in my opinion, I think Ohio has clearly demonstrated the right to be at number 1. What do you think?
No, I think it's fine with Georgia having been staying on top again. They just they're a heavy offensive team. They score a lot of points. I see what you're saying on Ohio. Them should be number 1, but I think if Ohio should be number 1, then we should wait until the day comes, or I don't know if the day comes where Ohio plays Georgia. That will change everything. Also, you don't even know if Georgia can or Ohio wins next week and Georgia loses next week. You never know. Next week, Georgia can lose, and if that happens, then Ohio will solidify themselves as the top ranked team in the nation. So, I think it's all set right now. I think it's fine having Georgia at the top part because they are a heavy hit team. They were number 1 before. They deserve to be here again. And I even said it during the Alabama game. Alabama shouldn't have been number 1. They weren't looking like a team that's a number 1 team. So having Georgia at number 1 is fine. And Ohio State will get there at one point in the season. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think with A&M, putting up the fight that they put up against Bama with their number 2 guy, not that Bama had Bryce Young either, but 24-20, man, it's only a 4-point difference. And I think that, in my opinion, when you go up against Texas and Ewers goes down in the second and you struggle by 1 point to get past Texas, and then you go up against A&M and you get by them by 4 them not even having their number 1 guy, that's got to put you at number 3. Even though you're undefeated, I think it deserves you at number 3. You get Bryce Young back, and then you make your case in the SEC showdown, which will come up against Georgia at some point, I would imagine. So I think Alabama being where they are is fine. I think Ohio destroying Michigan State at 49-20, should have had them at number 1, given the fact that Georgia has struggled in a couple of games this week or this series. And then they did come out with a good win against Auburn at 42-10. Even though Auburn, I think, is not as good as what Michigan State was at that point. I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with it being Georgia, Ohio, Alabama, whatever. I'm okay with that. But in my opinion, I think it should have been Ohio over Georgia. But again, like Frankie said, and to Frankie's point, next week should solidify a little bit more as to whether or not Ohio is a true number 1 or Georgia is a true number 1. We're going to get into the last topic of tonight because I know Frankie wants to really get back into his game. By the way, it's still 1-1, top of the 5th with Cleveland up, 2 outs, and it's 3-0. Right now, Ramirez and Cole is still in. So that's the situation on the status of that game. Last topic of the night is going to be NHL season begins, power rankings. I'm only going to give you the top 12, and that's Colorado at number 1, which is your champs from last year, followed by Carolina, Edmonton, Florida, Rangers from New York, Toronto, Tampa Bay, which lost to the Stanley Cup Finals this year or last year, whatever you want to call it, at number 7. And then Calgary at 8, Minnesota, St. Louis, and then Dallas Stars, which is my team, comes in at number 12. And I think the reason why they come in at number 12 is because some of the key factors that they lost, and I think they're going to have a hard time with their scoring. Frankie, the Lightning the opening games come Thursday is for the opening series. It's going to be Lightning versus the Rangers at 7:30. The Rangers are favored to win. And then you got the Golden Knights versus the LA Kings, and the Kings are favored to win, and that's a 10 o'clock game. When it comes to my team, as far as Dallas is concerned, we did sign Jason Robertson back to a 4-year, $31 million deal. He is our wing player. He did get 41 goals, 38 assists last season with 13 power plays to lead the team. And with the exception of Madonna and Ben and Seguin, Robertson does join that group with the 40 score season since Dallas conception in 1993. So that's kind of where the Stars are at. I think we're going to be bottom tier 12. I think we make the playoffs. How far we go in the playoffs? I don't really have a lot of confidence they go too far. But it kind of gives you an idea of where the power rankings are going into the season and the upcoming games. Frankie, any thoughts on the NHL season as we get ready to start?
Yeah, I can't wait for it to to start up and for us here at Unscripted to finally get into more of the hockey world. This is the first season where we're actually getting into it. We told you guys last season that we were going to get into it this year, and we are keeping our promise. We're getting into it. Jay's picked his team. Logan has picked his team, and everybody already knows what my team is. That's the Boston Bruins. I don't understand how they're not in the top 12, but the Boston Bruins, I'm pretty sure we'll find a way to get back into the postseason. We were in there last year. We lost in the second round, but I expect them to, make it deeper into the playoffs this year. I'm just glad that hockey's here, and I can't wait to start watching.
Absolutely. We're going to get into final thoughts now. And, I can't think of a better final thoughts than to start off with Damien. He says Seattle winning the series. They just gave y'all that win. No, Damien, they didn't give us the win. We took the win, first of all. Secondly, you say poor OU. I don't say poor OU. Oklahoma University, they just got their brand new coach at Vienna Bulls. Give the man a few times to get his draft class together. They're going to be fine. I mean, I hate OU. Don't get me wrong, but they're going to be fine. I mean, a few draft classes going to the SEC. With Vienna Bulls, the defense, they're going to be all right. Just give them a couple of years. They'll be just fine. Texas, on the other hand, they're going to be fine too. They got Archie Manning coming in next year at redshirt. Texas OU going to SEC, I believe it is next year. I believe it is. Maybe the year after. They're going to be just fine going into the SEC. I promise you. But again, as it comes to the Astros, Damien, you don't know your butt from your mouth, and that's your problem in life.
Jay, you know how you could just shut him up. Just ask him this. Damien, is your baseball team in the playoffs? No.
Oh, right, snap! Then. Oh, snap. You know what? I didn't want to quite go there because I didn't want to upset Mike Hughes because I like Mike Hughes. But since we're going there, we'll go all the way there. Yeah, Chicago, both teams, baby. You couldn't make it in the NL or the AL. You're a double loser, Damien. A double. Oh, no, wait a minute. You're a double loser for that. You're a loser with Chicago Bulls. You're a loser with Chicago Bears. And you're at the very bottom of NFL fantasy football. Take that as you may. Frankie?
Yeah, I don't got that much final thoughts. Everybody enjoy your baseball. I know Jay did, and Logan didn't. You got 2 more games tomorrow. You also got the Dodgers coming up still. Like Jay said earlier, Yankees and the Guardians right now are still 1-1 going into the bottom of the 5th inning where the Yankees are coming up. Hopefully we can take the lead here because I think Josh Donaldson is starting up. So hopefully we can turn it around and take the lead and end this in a good, happy ending for me. But that's all I got. Everybody enjoy your day. That's all I got to say about that.
No, no doubt, no doubt. And then as a final comment, I'm not going to put it up there, but I'm going to say Damian does came back and he says the Astros did get beat by the White Sox. 2005. Just for age comparison, Frankie, when were you born? Hey, Frankie, hey, Frankie, what's your birthday?
Oh, sorry. 1992, I was born.
92. Okay, and the last time was 05. So you were probably in junior high when they won that championship. Okay. Good try, Damien. I get it. You wanted to go back to 05 for crying out loud. Great reach. Didn't work for you. Have a nice night. Appreciate everybody from Chris Gonzales to Rob Strite, to Jonathan Mathis, Frankie and Logan, my boys. Appreciate you guys all coming on. Frankie specifically because his game is going on right now. Thank you for coming on. And
Josh Donaldson with a double, baby.
Hey,
never mind.
He did. Hey, Josh Donaldson now is on second, so maybe
No,
they will get that.
That should be a rule double, though. It hit the top. I don't know how that's not a rule double. I don't know
Hey,
how
that's all right.
Double.
Hey, that's all right. Take the double. Hey, we'll take what you can get. But hey, folks, I appreciate everybody tuning in, and we will catch you guys on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. By the way, that's when the Astros next game is. Oh shit, he got him out.
No, they're looking at it. No, they're looking at it, Jay, because it hit the top of the wall.
No, Frankie, he got him. I saw the tag, and his hands were about a foot away from the bag.
Jay, look at the instant replay. The ball hit the top of the wall. That's either a home run or a ground rule double.
All right, we'll get more clarification here in the next few minutes. But hey, Thursday, hey, don't worry. Me, Frankie, we'll be going at it again. Astros, Seattle, Cleveland, New York, and so forth. But again, until Thursday at 7, it's your boy Jay McLovin and Frankie the Yankee, or Foxborough Frankie. We will catch you next go around, and we out of here. Y'all have a good night.